food, water, electricity. In politics, women are marginalized.
As the democratic space gets broader and political activities become more intense, with many Nigerians angling for relevance and agitating for their voices to be heard, Magic 102.9 FM Aba has taken a giant leap by providing the needed platform that captures the essence of your individual, corporate, and most importantly, your political needs.
You see, the government is trying, but it's just this insecurity.
Yes, showcase your aspirations, opinions, and more as a politician, political party, government, community, organization, association, and more. Join Magic 102.9 FM Aba on People and Politics, Mondays to Fridays at 9 a.m. For inquiries and participation, please call 0903-282-3717. People and Politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
Yes, obviously, I know you've been waiting, and we are here. It's People and Politics. My name is Bonnie Onogu.
My name is Ben Mwatu. Thank you.
All right, Ben, I know time is far gone, but we're beginning to see a dimension in our country whereby, you know, as we're discussing off mic in the newsroom this morning, a brother of mine spoke to me this morning that he was in the hospital and there were too many people. And the analysis went this way, that people now can't even easily afford what we used to call ordinary paracetamol. So much so that they have accumulated illnesses and oftentimes they break down before they find their ways to the hospital. I wonder if anybody wants to take that away.
Well, that's how bad things have become. The standard of living in Nigeria is deteriorating by the day, declining by the day. The truth is, most people can no longer afford the basic things of life. Not because they are lazy, not because they don't work hard, but because of the policies of the current federal government. It has gone a long way in making an average Nigerian poorer.
Okay, you're talking about policies. We also did our newsroom kepu to the extent that we said, you own your money, you go to the bank, you're doing your withdrawal, and they say you can't withdraw more than 40,000 naira.
That's right.
Okay, now they encouraged Nigerians to patronize, POS, right? Point of sale services, I think that's what it's called.
That's right.
And then there are POS now where you cannot withdraw more than 100,000 naira, your own money. But to the contrary, there are people who will just sit in the comfort of their homes or anywhere or lounging by the pool and put a phone call, even on a Sunday, and a bullion van is driving to their home with billions.
True. Is it not a contradiction that when you go to the banks will tell you, hey, you cannot get more than 50,000 naira cash? You cannot get such an amount. But when you go to the POS, you get up to 100,000. You even get 200,000 naira, depending on the kind of POS or where the POS is located. So somehow you find out that there is a big business between the bankers and the POS operators. There is an allegation that most of the POS or point of sales and outlets are even owned by the bankers. The reason why is sometimes you go to the bank, they'll tell you they don't have cash. But you go to the POS by the side of the bank, you can collect as much as you want. And then the astronomical charges? Exactly. That's where that's the oil that is greasing, or that is greasing the wheel. That's this morning has to do with insecurity in the land. The president is reacting to the killing of about 8 travelers who were on their way from Kaduna to Plateau State for a wedding ceremony. Yes, indeed. The president condemned the recent killings of the travelers, as you heard. He describes it as unacceptable and barbaric. He also directed security agencies to ensure the perpetrators were quickly apprehended and brought to justice. Presidential spokesman Bayo Anonuga disclosed this in a statement yesterday. If you recall, some Kaduna indigents were on their way from Zaria, Kaduna State to a wedding in Plateau State before they were attacked by a mob at Mangu local government area of Plateau. The Plateau State government and the governor, as a matter of fact, Caleb Umufwang, has decried the tragic mob action, claiming lives last Friday. Let's hear him.
It is very sad that the same youths that have been being
country, a level whereby people are now resorting to self-help. That is exactly what is happening. And the dangerous thing about this thing is innocent people end up being caught in the middle. If you take a look at the incident in Edo State, they were accused, the victims were accused of being kidnappers and what have you, bandits. Whereas at the end of the day, it was discovered that they were hunters. Today, we're talking about a group of people who left their state of origin for another state for a wedding ceremony. But because of the fear in the land, because of the level of insecurity, a mob took it upon themselves to kill these people in cold blood. So it behoves on the government to rise up to its responsibility and start doing things differently. If they fail to do this, imagine if the people in Kaduna decide to retaliate against innocent people in that part of the country. The country will degenerate into chaos. So our political leaders should stop playing politics with the issue of insecurity. They should fund the security agencies appropriately to prevent the country from descending into an Armageddon, because that's exactly what we're heading to.
Ben, let me tell you, government needs to do a whole lot. As you and I speak, we have a Federal Ministry of Information. But what you hear from them is that they are not, in fact, they are poorly funded. Only the headquarters in Abuja is properly taken care of, and they are comfortable with that. I don't have electricity where I live, so I hardly watch television because I can't spend my little money buying petrol every day. But I know those who have the privilege of watching television. How much of this orientation do we get to see from the National Orientation Agency? Instead of the Federal Ministry of Information to do its job, all it does is play politics, laundry, the image of the government and the president. Whereas we have the senior whatever on strategy and whatever to the president who should do the job. The SSAs and the SAs up both technical and whatever to the president.
Social media, new media.
What is their duty that the Federal Ministry of Information and by extension the National Orientation Agency will be sleeping? When Lai Mohammed was there for information speaking most times after the state council meeting, executive council meeting, you are supposed to have liaison officers in all the communities who should be extending the message of the government, message of peace, of integration, unity to the people in their various languages. And they must be giving you feedback as per whether they are actually giving those messages and they are getting their own feedback, and if indeed it's working or not working. Everybody in Nigeria today, except the rich, is on edge. As I speak to you today, only the poor travel. The rich now go by air. Almost every state in the country today has an airport. Of course, the most recent one is the one in Minabi, named after Mr. President. But that is just by the way. What that means is this: when we have airports in all the states, the big men from such states will fly by air to the airports, drive in their bulletproof SUVs to sit anywhere in this country and make statements. We need to see action. We need to see our security men being properly mobilized and motivated. The cry by our security men, especially the ones on the field of operation, is not anything you can write home about. To the extent that it is discouraging young people now from going into a trade where they have to defend the sovereignty of their country. It has gone beyond all the rhetorics of politics and all that. But in the wake of all this, what do we see? 2027. I asked a politician the other day, I said, on an average day, what is on your mind as a Nigerian? Because for the politician, as a matter of fact, is the next election. Nothing else matters. And it's only the poor that is the victim of this whole problems we have in the country. Where, as we speak, I keep shouting, there will be no food from the next year. Farmers are not allowed to go to their farms because we have areas that are predominantly, farmsteads, that the farmers are not allowed.
Start your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
We're bending knock, no need fear. Headache, waist pain, Babadol, dear. Babadol, from joint to muscle, it will clear the way. Babadol, with double combo, way the walk all day. Babadol. Relief, no stress at all. Na Babadol. Stand up tall with Babadol. Na Babadol. Babadol.
Babadol, na brand of paracetamol and diclofenac sodium, with effective for the relief of pain, fever, headaches, dysmenorrhea, ankylosing spondylitis, actinic keratosis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, ocular inflammation, plus other small aches and pains them. Na Patrick Lingo Pharmaceuticals Limited, they market Babadol for Bodo, Nigeria. It is available for stores and pharmacies nationwide. Babadol, Babadol. Babadol, now for strong relief for take carry go. If symptoms don't gree go after 2 days, I beg go see your doctor.
One day now, one day. Walk no go rest day. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you no day complain. You wanna go choro? Toothpaste in car, then a blue gel.
Charlatan Quality Anti-Malaria contains Artemether and lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Charlatan is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Charlatan from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Charlatan is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
GoTV day for you 247. I make we tutorial you small. GoTV dey upgrade your decoder this period. Once you recharge, we go upgrade you one time. If you recharge on top super, GoTV go summer you super plus just like that. Now so if you recharge for Jolly, you and your family go watch every channel with you on top max. Recharge for any GoTV pack.
Alright, you're welcome back. The Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution has announced plans to organize a comprehensive 2-day zonal public hearing in the country's 6 geopolitical zones. The committee, chaired by the Deputy Senate President Barau Jubrin, said the public hearing will be held simultaneously in Lagos for the South-South, Jos for the North-Central, Maiduguri for the Northeast, and Kanu for the Northwest. The hearings, slated for July 4 and 5, are part of an extensive national consultation process aimed at capturing citizens.
As to whether this one will be successful, those who have been following the history of the talk about, the Constitution review would have known that it has gone through different shades across time. It has been called a different name via the National Conference. Nothing has been made of it. Now, today is the 23rd of June 2025, and then there's going to be a gathering of such in the 6 geopolitical zones on the 5th of July.
Sure.
If I calculate pretty well, we're looking at less than 2 weeks or thereabout, or let's make it 2 weeks and a fraction. And then such gathering where you're expecting memoranda is supposed to have some form of mobilization in the way that people will have to bring what they have to bring to the table at the end of the day, from where they will gather what they have to gather for articulation and for further processes.
Happen in July, but beyond that, at least we still have 2 weeks to work with. There are important areas that Nigerians want the Senate to focus on. One is the issue of local government autonomy. can the present Senate be bold enough to do away with their selfish considerations and look at the state governors in their eyes and take away that power, that part of the constitution that empowered the states to oversee the local government, which most state governors have abused? As we speak, how many local governments in Nigeria can truly say they are autonomous? How many local governments in Nigeria get their allocation from the FAC and directly and spend it the way they want to? So for me, that is a very critical sector that if the current Senate succeeds in tampering with, doing things differently, yes, there are fears that state governors may abuse state police, but for me, I've said this here over and over again, let's weigh the advantages, the merits and the demerits. The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. So far, the only concern is who would form state police, who is going to checkmate the excesses of the governors. We can work around that. If you take a look at what an average Nigerian is facing, how many people can afford to travel from? So let's tamper with these sections of our constitution and make it work. But what we have seen over time is the lawmakers will not do that. They will look at the faces of the governors, for instance, when it comes to local government autonomy, because most of them want to return to the Senate and the House of Rep. They will do their governors' bidding. Whatever their governors want them to do, that's exactly what they would do. How the governors want them to vote.
The governors already proverbially have been said to be too powerful. And I think that is true. Because talking about the local government autonomy, Ben, there was a presidential proclamation on that. But because of the powers that the governors, quote and unquote, wield beyond the Constitution, and the exclusive power of the president, they've been doing it their own way.
Exactly.
And the reason again is because of the stomach infrastructure, such that those who would become would be councillors and 10 vehicles. And then by the time you get to the roundabout in Okigwe, you say, okay, to the left, Uzuakoli, going to either Imo State, both ways, okay, it's to Imo State. The Uzuakoli end down to either you're going to Owerri or you're going to Olu or anywhere. Do you know what it is? If you're going to the right to Uturu, do you know what it is like? I'm sure you're aware of what happened in Isochi the other day. And as you're heading straight, just like you mentioned, to Enugu, you only heave a sigh of relief as you approach the teaching hospital at what's the popular name again? Ozara. You understand? So this brings about very serious questions, and these are just points of illustration, basically, because it's the same thing. Have we not spoken about a man who went to wed his, as a means to deal with others in order to survive? If you doubt me, look at the task forces being set up by state governments.
True.
The moment you see a boy in a community or a lady in a community being enlisted into any of these task forces, they become lions and tigers put together. If you're passing through Enugu city now, the fear of the traffic people there, they call them MOT or whatever it's called.
MOT, that's right.
Even if you're on your right lane, you're doing the right thing, these people will follow you. Because government has made it a revenue generating agency, such that at the end of the month they ask them, how much did you generate? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to commit an offense to be caught in Enugu, and the slightest offense and the smallest you can pay is 20,000 naira. I was a victim on Salah Day, this past Salah. We should also consider how we can orientate the minds of the people that will be enlisted so that they will not become another of the task forces that we see around today.
It's very important.
It's very much, there's much that we have to talk in that regard. And those who will fashion out the review at the end of the day after the public hearing, I hope this time it works. By the way, they should know that Nigerians are already on edge and we need our temper to cool down. And it will take a long time, Ben.
Indeed.
All right, let's move. The National opposition coalition group led by Atiku Abubakar and Nasir El-Rufai of a new political party, the All Democratic Alliance (ADA). Some have started calling it ADA already. Adama. All right. The application dated June 19 was acknowledged.
The electoral umpire insisted that associations seeking to be registered as political parties must follow laid down guidelines and abide by the legal and administrative requirements for registration. Admitting that over 100 associations are on queue, the commission said none of them has submitted a formal application to it yet. The National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee sent not formal applications. According to Olumekun, the first stage is to submit a letter of intent. He said groups wishing to be registered as political parties must first meet the criteria for registration before submitting a formal application for registration.
Well, so Sam Olumekun can as well show Nigerians, because there must be hard copies of either the letter of intent or the letter of application. Or is it only digital now, as in soft copy? Even if it is soft copy, it can be printed. And so let Nigerians be able to see this so that there won't be any suspicion. Because what is good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't want to say it the way Zebediah will say it. If those who are in power today came from different parties to form the coalition known as APC, it won't be a misnomer for other persons to also coalesce. But the funny part is, at the end of the day, Ben, and please do not laugh, is that after toying with
best thing for them to do is to float a new political party. But like I always say, an average Nigerian is so gullible that when you hear the name of a political party, you feel, hey, these people, they have come to do things differently. If you take a look at the names of those who are fronting the ADA, what do they have in common? The same men were those who came to Nigerians in 2014 telling us that APC, this APC is cancer, or bringing the treatment.
I remember a reggae song, Guess Who Is Coming to Dinner, Natty Dreadlock. From 1999 till now, some were even there pre-1999. The same set of people passing through different names as parties, and nothing has changed. So the question is, so what is it anyway? There was a time in this country that a set of people got together and decided to form a party called the New PDP, because they wanted their nests to be feathered. Nigerians cannot be pushed into any dark corner anymore. But unfortunately, there is this arm twisting tactic. There is a portion after Nikki Lake Resort where you see over 2 kilometers of wood being sold. It's a wood market for people to buy and cook in their homes. What does that tell you? Forests are being depleted on account of policies of government that do not favor particularly the poor man. And the poor man are in the larger percentage of the population of this country. So you see where we dey. Politician now just to think of election and party name. Now they are trying to register ADA. Oh, thank God my first daughter is not called ADA. I forgot change her name. I tell you, how can a political party bear the name of my first daughter? I won't agree now. Abby. Anyway, but that's where we are. I have always said it, that it will degenerate to that 10-10 level, and at 10-10 we day 10-10 original. That is where we are in the country. Anyway, let's move on. At least some comic relief. I think we should go on break, Ben.
All right.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This my buddy James.
Nothing brings the heat like the bold taste of Mini-Me Noodles Niger Pepper flavor. Try it today and see for yourself. Mini-Me Noodles Niger Pepper flavor. Slap it like it's hot.
Hey, rewards don't land. When I buy airtime and data on any network,
I get up to 10% cash back.
I pay my NEPA, DSTV, or StarTimes and call
3% cash back.
Now so smart cash back don't get reloaded.
And they load my wallet.
Hey, it's the Smart Cash Cashback Reloaded. Top up airtime or data on any network and get up to 10% cashback, or pay your electricity or cable TV bill and get 3% cashback sharply. Only on Smart Cash. No dull yourself. Download the Smart Cash app or dial *939# to start today. Terms and conditions dey sha.
naanị ọ bụ maka onye ọbụla na-eme ihe n'ihi ya ka anyị jikọtara aka aha abụọ siri ike aghọwo otu obi. Anyị bịara inye gị nchekwa, nkwado na ntụkwasị obi n'ihe niile gbasara ndụ gị ma ọ bụ ndụ kwa ụbọchị. Anyị nọ n'akụkụ gị. Ka anyị jikọtara, anyị nwere ike ichebe karịa, mee ihe dị ukwuu ọnụ ma duru ibe anyị n'ihu. Sanlam na Alliance abụrụgo otu. Ugbu a Sanlam Alliance nọgidenu na-ebi ndụ n'otuto n'ike na ntụkwasị obi.
Oya class, make una calm down. Today we will talk about how una day take start. Emeka, you go first.
My mama wake us up for 6 a.m. make we ready for school. We just finish cut up and cake with John Vert 3 white chocolate for breakfast.
My mama they give us John Vert 3 in 1 too. It's sweet well.
My mama they call am instant goodness. Me and my sister they...
People and Politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
All right, we're back in the Still People and Politics. The Shinobi ABCK Foundation has commended Governor Alex Otti for appointing their leader as board member.
Within the short spell that he had at the National Assembly, he actually justified his stay a year plus, but you can actually point at certain things he did within that constituency that people still talk about. To whom much is given, much is expected. We expect him to bring that same working attitude that he exhibited when he was at the House of Representatives, bring it to bear on this new appointment and ensure that Aba becomes a better city. He's an indigenous Aba person, I think from Aba South also. So it's what we want Aba to look like. This is what you expect Aba to be like, and advise the governor properly.
Well, I think the period he was there, 1 year plus, you said, yes, which is true. He actually exhibited, prowess in terms of commitment and all that. I would not, stay back and not say that, what he did was not visible. It was. It's just that elections be what they are.
Let's take a listen to what the command is saying.
Yeah, of course, the command has condemned the violent attack on the administrator, Ahoda East local government area. Good luck here, Nacho. The command describes it as a heinous and reprehensible act. The police, in a statement released on Sunday, said the attack occurred on Friday, June 20, at about 1:40 p.m. when a group of about 30 hoodlums stormed the council secretariat. The assailants reportedly assaulted Iheanacho from his office. The administrator is...
When I heard the noise from my office, that is how the matter generated. When I heard the noise from office of political appointees that the sole administrator did not pay for the month of May, when I barged in, I was asked to shut the door that it is within him and those political appointees. And I never made any video nor carry any hoodlums.
Okay, so there you have it. Every day, one new drama in Rivers State. For me, my interpretation of what is happening is the said sole administrator to the suspended governor Simi Fubara, and we also have the Wike's camp, people who are loyal to Nyesom Wike, so that wisdom would prevail in Rivers State. We're beginning to see some level of stability. Right now, even Sim Fubara doesn't need this. If things remain stable, those who feel they love him should not create more problems for him. They should rather stay stable and ensure that the man comes back as the governor. Creating more problem, there's a possibility the state of emergency may be extended. You can never tell who is behind this. It's also possible that those who are behind this are those who are looking for reasons for the president to say, okay, because of this, because of that, we are going to extend the state of emergency.
Well, I think to think that they are causing trouble, if nothing else, from your earlier, narration, is basically more like a personal thing. If indeed there is disparity or there is a denial of salaries to them and some other people that are higher than them, for anybody to say the letter was written from somewhere, the man was only being told to sign under duress, and when he did sign, somebody else said they should give him another piece of paper to sign whether what he signed, if what he signed was the same,
to confirm the signature.
To confirm it. But if a letter is being signed and is going to be submitted anywhere and is going to be of effect, it means there is somebody higher up there who agreed that yes, go and do this, and so that when the letter is brought, because when you bring the letter, the man who signed is still an administrative chairman. There is supposed to be at least a policeman attached to him.
Well, the narrative is that the two policemen attached to him went to eat.
And then with all the noise, the hula baloo, I think I could use that. No other workers in the secretariat heard what was happening, only the CSO. And then he came, because according to his narration here, he was in his office and he heard the noise.
That's something. It's laughable. If you listen to Nigerian politics right from 1999, I know you. But that's what I'm saying. When this article wanted to overthrow Obasanjo, even also kind of was saying, I know I do read the news watch, so that's why I'm telling you all this. So this man who Atiku wanted to overthrow Obasanjo, the Obasanjo went and bowed for him. There was a CCTV that day, so Obasanjo bowed for him, and he forgave Obasanjo. So Obasanjo came to the second time. Obasanjo destroyed his political. Wanted to win Atiku and the Tabuwa at the Congress. Are you hearing me?
Go ahead.
So we just wanted to win two of them.
It's up to the man anytime, any day. He stood his ground that no northerner should contest the presidential ticket of the APC. That's one. Two, I wonder where you're getting Wike in the whole picture. Wike is not part of ADA. It's Rotimi Amechi, the former governor. All right. Thank you very much.
Anyway, thank you, Ben, for that, because I was just enjoying the story, and that response would have still come. We would want our people to have their facts right before joining us. Articulate them, in very short sentences, so that others can have space. More so that.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Talk to us.
Thank you. My name is Chide. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I say my name is Chide.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, the question I want to ask for the local government chairman, can them go to court and tell the court that the local government autonomy is not working on their hand? Can they go to court? Do they have power to go to court and complain to the court? That is one. Because I can see that some of them is there for the appointment. Some of the governors